Hello guys, and welcome back to Strategic Command World War II World at War with our Allied playthrough. In the last episode, look, we completed an encirclement at Sing Quan, cut the Japanese rail line. France still is on the verge of death. It'll probably die this turn. We're getting ready for the Battle of the Atlantic. We're hunting a submarine to its death. There's a lot of things happening. But I've completed this turn, we just ran out of time, so let's hit end turn and see what the Axis has in store for us. Land units. Well, that wasn't a land unit, that was an air unit, so I don't know, whatever. It's moving west though. Engineers in the Soviet Union completing a fortress, that's good. We needed that. Disrupting Canada-UK convoys, amazing considering I have it surrounded and am killing it, but okay. Research continuing. UK ending up with 259, not as impressive this time around. Because, well, Canada's being raided, so it lost like half the amount. That's pretty brutal. For like, what, one sub-raider? And then we're also sending the 7th Armored to Egypt. Everything else is going pretty well. I love this trade via the Hanoi-Kunming Railway. I love it so much. Because I only had to pay once, and it just keeps paying out. I love it. It's just free shit. I'm just so happy about China. Yeah. Alright. Anyway, watch me just get my ass beat now. Oh, I gotta zoom in. Okay. Reinforcing Egypt. Oh, we got you stuck. We got you stuck. You're not getting away from me, motherfucker. Reinforcing. Alright. Okay, yeah, France is gonna die. Yeah, anti-air fire. I love when that battery comes in handy, because I paid for it. See, they keep shooting at the north, too, but I don't have anything to protect up there. Germans pushing. Yeah. Oh, there goes Paris! Oh! Paris, no! There goes Paris. Yep, alright. I think it's official. August 30th. One day before my birthday. I think France has fallen. What a wonderful birthday gift. Defensive artillery fire. This is why I didn't use the arty. Looks like it really came in handy on the defense, too. Oh my god. Okay, they're pushing pretty heavily over there in Japan. China. I can't even tell. Did we lose a unit? I'm not even sure. Because the animations are going so quick. Although if I don't have them this quick, it takes forever. But we'll see it in the report if we actually did lose a unit. All I know is they pushed really heavily in the center there. They put up a big fight. And now the Germans are pushing around the Maginot because they don't know that France is about to surrender. No, they do know, because they just shipped a bunch of things away from the Maginot. They know. Immediately, they just shipped everything they had on the Maginot off of it. French morale suffers from the fall of Paris. Yeah. Germany celebrates. Yeah. Loss of Paris impacts British national morale. Yeah. Germany enhances its naval facilities at Saint Nazaire. Yeah. France surrenders. Yeah. Did it surrender to Italy? It surrendered to Italy! That's so good! Alright, you'll have to hear me out on this once this is done. I'll tell you why I think that's so good. Vichy authorities in Madagascar accept the armistice. Oh, they made... Italy made... Okay, we'll talk about that later. Alright, bye-bye. Bye-bye, Djibouti. And... Vichy France is made. Algeria declares loyalty to Vichy. And Tunis, and Syria, and French West Africa. Is this historical or variable? I don't even know. Equatorial Africa, neutral. Okay. Polynesia, neutral. Okay. France swings towards Axis on the fall of France. Germany upgrades naval base to Saint Nazaire. Germany annexes Alsace. Oh, they got Alsace. They got Alsace-Lorraine. Huh. Victorious German troops march in Paris, but it's Italian. Germany occupies the Channel Islands. Wait, so did they... Okay, interesting. UK prepares for possible Axis invasion. Admiral Canary Wolfram visits Spain. Spanish forces enter Tangier. Fall of France enables Spain to export Wolfram and other goods to Germany. Yeah. Even though they border Italy. Again, I'm so happy. I'm so happy the Italians got it. French units destroyed. French, Germany, okay. Anything about China? No Chinese units dead. Okay. No Chinese units dead. Okay. Okay, well, that plane showed up. Maintaining British national morale. For as long as the enemy holds all of the following locations, we must ensure that we have 3 or more units within 10 hexes of Birmingham. As long as they hold Paris, Brest, Brussels, Cherbourg, Le Havre, and Hamburg. If we do not do so, then we fear an invasion will cause our national morale, or then fear of it, to fall by 500 points a turn. Recommendation, keep 3 or more units within 10 hexes of Birmingham until an invasion of Europe has been successfully launched. I'm going to take a screenshot of this real quick so I don't forget it. Screenshot acquired. Moving along. Although the new French government signed an armistice with the enemy and has withdrawn from the war, not all French soldiers are given up in the fight. A small number, led by de Gaulle, intend to continue the struggle from exile as the Free French. Should we support de Gaulle, and through this action offer hope to all those in France, indeed, the whole world, who wish to continue the fight until Europe is free of the evil menace of Nazism, supporting the Free French will only cost us 30 MPPs and will enable us to prepare operations to prevent the Vichy fleet from falling into the Axis hands. Would you like to support them, yes or no? If you say yes and recognize the Free French, the British national morale will rise by 1,000 points. The UK will receive a Strength 5 light cruiser in Plymouth. Then, on the 31st of May, 1943, the UK will receive the full-strength Lorraine battleship at Alexandria. That's hot. However, Vichy France, Algeria, Syria, and Tunisia will all move 5% towards the Axis. Saying no and recognizing Vichy will be seen as a sign of weakness in both Britain and America. It would therefore cause British national morale to fall by 1,000 points, and the isolationists in America would gain ground, swinging them 3 to 5% away from the Allies. In view of these factors, it is recommended to say yes to this. Of course I will say yes to this. All hail the Free French and that bastard de Gaulle. Vichy France distances itself from Britain's support de Gaulle. Yeah. France disappeared from our sidebar. Free French seized power in Equatorial Africa. Hell yeah. General Leclerc forms forces for... I can't do this. Libre... I can't read these. Okay. Alright. So, first, a Canadian Corps has arrived and a mechanized USSR unit. Okay. French Equatorial Africa has joined the Free French. In fact, I think it has formed it. Where's Polynesia? Polynesia's over here somewhere. I forget where. But it's over here somewhere. I don't think it's joined yet. I think it would have told me. Okay, so this is Free France right now. And is Free France under the Brits? What's an easy way to figure this out? French Equatorial Africa. Yes, Free French has joined the Brits. Okay, that's cool. French Equatorial Africa can make 1 fighter, 1 light cruiser, 1 core, and 1 HQ. That's a weird mix of units, but cool nonetheless. That will help bolster the British. Does this create a convoy or this? No, this just directly benefits us. All right, so France has finally fallen. It is now September. I'm very happy with how long it took them to do that. And I'm very, very happy with the fact that Italy took this. So that 1,000 MPPs, that was supposed to go to the Germans. The Germans were supposed to use that to operationally move their units, to reinforce their units, to upgrade their units in preparation of Operation Barbarossa and in claiming Yugoslavia and Greece. But because Italy claimed it, all those points went to Italy. And I'm going to take a wild guess based on my experience with history in video games and assume that a large sum of MPPs like that is going to be way less useful in the hands of Italy than Germany. If Germany had that, that would be 1,000 MPPs, pumped into upgrades and other things that the USSR would have had to worry about. Italy may still send troops over here, but right now Italy's behind Germany by a long margin. Even with whatever cheap, researches they've been given for free, they're way behind. Now this could make the fight for Africa harder. This could make an invasion of Italy harder. However, this is the best possible thing that could have happened. If there was only 2 that could take it, Germany and Italy. The one that hurts the Axis the most is Italy taking it. So I'm, once again, very, very happy. I think historically, Germany invades Vichy France. I don't fully remember that, and I have no idea how that's going to be modeled here. But Oh, I'm just so happy that this went the way it did. I'm so happy. Are our fortifications at Dunkirk gone? I think they are. I think it like reset everything over here. Well, that's interesting. Dude, I am so happy. I don't care if Italy's a little bit... Oh, there goes the entire French fleet. That all vanished. So did the air. That's sad. Well. Oh well. They did what they could. And I'm just so happy once again that Italy got it. Wow, that's so good for us. That is so good for us. Imagine invading France and you don't have to fight the Germans. You're fighting the Italians. Now, theoretically, I don't know if the Germans are going to be the ones even garrisoning this now. Could just be the Italians. Maybe the Axis AI won't process this on a nation-by-nation basis. However, this also means all the MPPs generated, for example, by the mine here, by Paris, etc., this is all going to go to Italy, not Germany. Germany did, however, get these border sections, but it's mostly fortifications and very few overall MPP gains. Vichy France stops them from gaining too much more, and Vichy France will probably never join the Axis. They'll probably get invaded eventually. I don't think we have to worry about flipping them to us because they'll probably just die anyway. And that's interesting. So Algeria is not in Vichy France. It's actually separate. All these places that have splintered off are separate. They're not technically minors of Vichy. They're now just their own unique countries that are probably maybe minors of... No, they're not in the Axis. They're all just minors now. They're separate. So I guess that's a way to make it so that if Germany invades Vichy, then only Vichy dies and the rest of this stuff is now independent. That's what I'm gonna guess has just happened. I never thought I'd be so happy to see France die, but this just died in the best possible way for me. With all my mistakes, it still died late. It died in September or August, depending how you look at it. It died to the Italians. It was great. I love it. I love how that went. The only thing that could have made it go better if everything pledged loyalty to the Free French instead of just Polynesia, which is probably guaranteed. I don't actually know. And French Equatorial Africa. Just looking over at China here, they beat the shit out of this core here, but they didn't kill anything. They just beat it up and pushed it back because it was forward deployed. Wow, they got another HQ here. And this core we surrounded, if it actually struck out, it was at this core, but it's down to 2 supply, meaning it may suffer attrition, but it's going to be slaughtered. We're just going to be able to slaughter it. I'm just taking in everything that has happened right now. This is absolutely beautiful. This could not... Well, I guess it could have gone better. You know, France could have lived. But this could not have gone better based on how I played it and what I'm playing against. Okay. Well, that means in the future we have no more France to micromanage. There's still French units, but they're all going to be pledged to the British. And the British... Okay, so their national morale is still good. The British, they have a lot of stuff to manage. And they don't have the MPPs to do it all. Like, don't know if you've noticed... I think I might as well make some content by actually mentioning this. I have not reinforced or built up a single thing in Singapore, Malaysia, or Malaya. I have not done anything with anything in Australia and New Zealand. This is not because I'm forgetting these things are here. It's because I can't afford to. I've been so focused on the battle for France that, you know, I was putting all this air power over here. I was putting all these resources into fighting, the naval fighting. I was making mistakes, doing things, putting points into what is already in Africa to try to push in the war for Africa. And when doing all these things, that's it. That's all I had points for. I haven't had points for anything else. And now I'm upgrading the Navy, getting ready for the Battle of the Atlantic. We can no longer technically see into France. So... aside from trying to strap bomb and hoping there's not a lot of fighters there, which there probably are right now, who knows for how long, because I'm sure the Germans have other invasion targets to go for, but I just haven't had the points. And right now, 273 points, you know, this is not enough to manage everything that they have. I've had to choose where I prioritize, so this is what I've been doing. Feel free to let me know in the comments if you think where I have prioritized them is good or where I have is bad. I've also had to prioritize research You know, we've been putting a lot of stuff into research, and we've been exploiting almost all the research capacity. I think that's very important as the allies, to take advantage of that if you have the opportunity. A player may not give you that opportunity, but I believe I've had the opportunity to do so. However, let's take a look at some things now. I guess starting with the British, we still have... Where the fuck did it go? Did it move? Are you up here, sir? Who the hell are you? Brand new submarine is here. God damn it. I fucking vey. Where'd the other one go? Wasn't there just one over here? Did the Axis move it again? How the hell? Where did you go? They just had one here. What in God's name? Alright, well shit. That's great. Let's deploy the 1st Corps to Halifax. The 1st Canadian Corps. It's there. It's technically under the British. It will support British operations. For right now, it's not needed anywhere. I can send it to the UK. So what does this thing say we have to do? We have to hold 3 or more units within 10 hexes of Birmingham. What is 10 hexes? 1, 2, 3. So anything in this region. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anything in England, pretty much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All the way up to Inverness. So basically just have at least 3 units in the UK. I don't think that... it doesn't say anything about it being land or air or otherwise, but we have 3 units here right now. We have the Rupert Force. I fucked that up. The Rupert Force Special Forces that are here. We have all these air units. We have the 1st Corps, a garrison, and this is enough. Even if it's only talking about land, I believe this is enough. Speaking of me spending a lot of points, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start getting all these units and stuff up to snuff, because these are now an important defense of the UK. This is going to be expensive. It's going to be very expensive. But this is now an important defense of the UK. Oh yeah, we also have this HQ, technically speaking. We aren't going to be wasting as many MPPs, again, on bombing raids now that we can't really see what's going on, now that the Battle for France is over. So a lot of these MPPs in the future are going to start going somewhere else. They're not necessarily going to go into where they have been going into so far. As much as I respect this garrison, the more I look at it, the more I think, I don't want a garrison being the defense of London. We'll give that honor to the 1st Corps that has escaped the fall of France from, you know, being a part of the BEF. As of what to do with this garrison, I'm not actually sure. It should protect something on the southern side, but again, I'm not sure. Something around the ports, because if any Germans actually did cross to try to get here, that's where they'd probably land near. That's what they would need to take to escape. So for now... Well, okay, so I want to take this Special Forces, Rupert Force. That's going down to Portsmouth. That's going there. For now, I'll move you over to Reading, or Reading, I don't know how to say that. The Corps will go to London and start entrenching there. I'll probably plop this garrison over by Plymouth, because that's a little far flung, and it's just like a backup just in case they land there. If they do land anywhere else, we're going to get that home defense force. It's going to pop up and assist us anyway, so it's not something I'm too concerned about. We are not going to start strat bombing while all of our other guys, our escorts, are not available at the moment. We do need to reinforce the Sheffield light cruiser. This is a expensive affair. We should... make sure... Well, we have nothing else to reinforce. That's a lie. I just lied so heavily. We need to reinforce these South African units that are in as good of supply as I can realistically get them. And it turns out that is not a large amount. Dying. This is the best I can do with the supply available to me. There really isn't any better supply available anywhere else. This is a decent enough HQ. So we're just going to have to operate with this and like this for now. It's like this guy can't upgrade himself. We're going to send him on the offensive again. You might as well keep attacking. Of course, we're losing. We need more units to really dominate here, I guess. But for right now, this is the best we can do. And it's minimal losses, even when it doesn't go well for us. We might as well put some kind of pressure on Mussolini. We will eventually get more troops here, be it from India or somewhere else. I don't know where, but we will. We will. Let's go ahead. I don't know why you're in the red. I think it's because of your supply. It's funny your supply is so low. Because of, you're right there. What is this? This thing underneath. I don't know what that is. I really don't. But let's go ahead and we're gonna tactical bomb. Let's look at him. He's got 4 supply, 43% readiness, 45% morale. That's pretty bad. Let's go ahead and tac bomb that. We actually dealt damage. That's pretty fucking hot. We got 2 shells on this Artie. Let's go ahead and use some shells. So we can attack twice with this. Brings his readiness and morale down quite a bit. I don't expect him to go on the offense in this situation. So let's go full offensive with the artillery at our disposal. Great. That's all the shells have now been used. Get the readiness and shit down. I am uncertain about what's ahead. Let's go ahead and move forward. See what our recon can uncover. Take another step forward. Now this is very bad for supply. Moving all the way out here. That much should probably be clear. However, we do have a chance to almost completely encircle, so I will give this a shot. We're going to move the anti-tank up into the, what is this, oasis here. That's something. And the desert recon up to the other side of the enemy here. Yeah, supply is pretty bad in these regions, unfortunately. If I move up, it might improve. I might want to move up a little bit anyway, to be honest. But we should probably get attacking now that we've done all this. Let's go ahead, and I guess we'll use the army first. Conditions here are not ideal, but holy crap, really? We really need infantry weapons to finish researching, because this is just terrible. Dang, we're already down to 49 MPPs. That's not so hot. That's not so hot. Their entrenchment level is going down with everything we're doing. It's only 1 out of 4. Let's go ahead and attack with the core as well, despite it, you know, not being the best. Now they are out of entrenchment. They're out of entrenchment. So we could go ahead and press our attack further. Try lower their readiness and morale. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and attack with the recon infantry next. And then the anti-tank. We're just losing things all over the place, however. But they have no entrenchment. They're not in the best position. And I can hope that this is going to work out eventually. I can go ahead and move the tac bomber forward here now that I moved the HQ forward a bit, and hopefully kind of keeps up with supply. We can fully, hopefully, cut it off from everything that is not the port here next turn. That's what I hope. This is, I won't lie, this is not as great as this could have gone. We're losing way more than we're killing, but in a fortified town like this, it's hard to make progress, especially with what we have available. At the very least, we don't have any big anything threatening us right now, so at least there's not too much to worry about. Africa is going to be very inefficient until we get infantry weapons, which hopefully we'll get before the Italians. But for now, I'll give them what fight I can, because we are the allies and we do have the advantage of points. Now we have some more stuff to do as the UK. For example, we're trying to get some destroyers up to snuff, and they're probably more important than a lot of the other things I'm trying to get up to snuff. So the Mohawk destroyer is now up to snuff. These guys are all good. There's not actually a lot else waiting for their upgrades. Actually, almost everything is already upgraded. Nice. All right, so the Southampton light cruiser then. We will go ahead and upgrade that with anti-air naval weaponry, same as we're doing everything else. Sadly, no ASW upgrades available at the time being. All that remains, I think, is the Sheffield light cruiser, and for that, we're more waiting on time. Now, there's not a lot of point to lingering right here or around here anymore. The Germans are going to break out. I could try to blockade around the North Sea, but while they hold Norway, they could send planes to maybe hit me from over there. So I think I'll just prioritize fighting them from the Atlantic. However, I don't fully even know where everything they have in the Atlantic is. Not even remotely, to be honest. I don't even remotely know. So this isn't going to be the best setup I could possibly do. I also don't know if a carrier can move and then still strike. I know the range is pretty limited, so I don't even know if I want to risk the carriers. A definite note of importance is, if I do send out the carriers to engage an ASW in the Atlantic, I'm putting the carriers at risk. I would need sufficient forces to form a large enough screen around them. However, most of the Brits' stuff is like capital ships or things like that of some kind. We don't have a lot of destroyers, and most of them are already out here engaging in our best ASW that we possibly can. I mean, here's another one, the Ambrose. We'll go ahead and send this around to the convoy. What the hell is this? Oh, that's the Arctic convoy. That hasn't happened yet. So, if I do send out, I might just be making this giant target for the Germans to, like, step on. It may be better to, rather than sailing battleships and carriers out to try to pulverize German anti-shipping efforts, to leave them close to the Channel, close to Europe, and close to the Atlantic, where they can engage any threats that show up that are worthy of a rapid response. It may be worth doing that instead. And then, instead of, having to spend points repairing them whenever something goes wrong, which it inevitably will, simply redistributing those points somewhere else in the Empire, such as getting Australia, New Zealand, Malaya ready, and also just making new troops, maybe even just purchasing new destroyers as well, because we don't need anything bigger than a destroyer until we encounter something bigger than a submarine, if you get what I'm trying to say here. So for now, just hiding in safety might be the best thing. Might be. We also do need to upgrade the Belfast light cruiser here. I can't get both upgrades right now, so I'm just not going to bother getting any. So we'll want to have set up 2 response areas, I guess. Eventually, we're going to have to start dealing with the North Sea as well. I wish I had more experience to be able to better figure out how to use the British Navy, though. This is a huge problem of mine, is that I'm just not, sure how to use the bigger things. I guess mainly offensively. I can't use everything, so I don't need to use everything. I guess that's a logical way to look at it. Let's go ahead and move this battleship back. We don't need a battleship forming a screen. We also don't need heavy cruisers forming a screen, but that's just what I have available to me. So we'll form this heavy cruiser screen. Keep the battleships in the rear. I only have 2 remaining, 1 on each side, and I guess we can split it so it's like a battle cruiser on each side as well. I have all the carriers down here, so one side is clearly getting more attention than the other. We're gonna block off this way coming down. Not that it was technically already blocked off, technically speaking. I gotta get the light cruisers in position, which is one thing I'm kind of waiting on. We're gonna get the renowned battle cruiser to safety as well. I'm just trying to get away from where the Germans are going to be able to strike me with air now that I see how dangerous that is. Yeah, the way I'm looking at it, we're not going to have to focus too much on this area in the future. It's kind of getting set up to the point where now the British money is just going to start going elsewhere. And the British Navy will do the best that it can with what it has. This destroyer might as well get reinforced and upgraded. However, we still don't have ASW for it, and that's still a little ways away, unfortunately. However, we can still, do those things I said. We might as well do them right here. The British ships can similarly base out of here. You know what? Oh, no, you've moved too much. I was going to say, I might as well just move you more. You can also operate out of Reykjavik, is one thing to remember. That's one thing I gotta remember. I can send my units up there. I can't wait till we get more destroyers for the bases. Both Canada and the UK, which in this game just means the UK by itself. I'm gonna keep having the Brits just cycling northeast, I guess, towards where they can use more native bases to replenish. Also because we have another submarine showing itself here, which we're going to go ahead and attack. Yeah, that wasn't the greatest, but our ASW still isn't that great. And mostly trying to chase them back northeast as well. Submarine dives from attack. And to where did it dive? Here we go. Found ya. Just trying to stay with you there, buddy. I don't know why I'm basing the Canadians out of Canada and this like this. It's thematic, but it's also, in this case, efficient, I feel like. Maybe not. I don't know. Looking at America, I'm going to go ahead and start researching anti-submarine warfare, because even against the Japanese, that will be pretty handy, and the Americans' fleet will undoubtedly have a chance to engage the Germans as well at some point. As for this Canadian Corps, eventually I'll send it east. It's going to cooperate very closely with the British. I'm kind of segregating how everyone functions. We're going to go ahead and send the first army down so it transfers over to Beaver. And we're going to take the second army and keep marching them down to LA. We're going to take the second corps here, and we're just going to park it in San Jose for the time being, I believe. Yes, we moved the first medium bombers down, so we want to get those. Can you speed these up, actually? No, maybe not. I guess that's only by operating. So we're gonna start flying down this way. And I believe actually there's another one on the East Coast. Yes, there is. So we're gonna have that pop out by Salt Lake City. And with that, we've taken care of America, the UK. We still have the others to go through, but this is a big eventful turn. A lot happened, and even though it was bad things for us in the short term, I think in the long term, it turned out way better than it could have. So I very much enjoyed this turn. Next episode, I'll continue with the other guys, because there's still a lot of work to do, but with the French gone, there's one less front to focus on, and potentially shorter turns as well. We'll see how that turns out, but for now, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.